You know what used to be the best part of my day? Eating at night, like almost all of my calories right before bed. It was my comfort zone, my routine, and for a long time, it felt like the only thing I could control. I didn't start doing this until the last 10-ish years of my eating disorder. It started sneaky, pushing back lunch just a little, then a little more. Skipping meals became easy because I was really good at distracting myself from hunger. Even when I was starving, I told my body to shut up and keep moving. When I was in treatment, they'd say, "Don't worry, your hunger cues will come right back." And I just stared at them puzzled, like, come back. I am always hungry. I've been hungry for 25 years. I've just learned how to suppress it and fight through it. They told me my hunger was a good sign. I was shocked by how many people in treatment didn't feel it at all. Inside, I was screaming. This isn't a sign. This is survival. This is torture. In this video, I'm breaking down what that evening eating ritual really meant, how it became a coping mechanism, a hiding place, and eventually something I had to confront. So let's talk about it. Why wait until the evening to eat? Because going to bed hungry, that was the worst. I mean, all of this is the worst, but we're really not in the right headspace to change, are we? My eating disorder started when I was 16. My parents really did try to help. They took me to doctors, a dietitian, a therapist. I had the whole team. But at 16, I was like, hard pass. I went through the motions, said the right things, but in my head, I had already made up my mind. This is who I am, and this is my new obsession. I was gonna be thin, and no one could stop me. I thought, good luck. My first dietitian gave me a meal plan, and I kid you not, it was the exact same meal plan I got again last year in treatment. The same structure, the same layout, 25 years later, and it's still the same plan. Look, I'm not saying it doesn't work, but it just shows how little has changed. Where is the research? Where's the innovation? We are all not the same. Every body is different. And these cookie cutter plans, they need to evolve. If you're OCD like me, that meal plan, it was like giving me a rule book to obsess over. The perfect how-to manual for eating the smallest amounts possible while still checking off all of the boxes. I needed X amount of fats, carbs, fruit, veg, dairy, and I made sure to barely hit those marks. At 16, I learned how to manipulate that system like a pro, and I stuck with it for almost a decade. Except I was starving at night. I couldn't do it anymore. I couldn't keep going to bed hungry. I'd lay there trying to fall asleep, and all I could think about was food. My stomach would growl. The hunger would turn into actual pain. I'd dream about all the foods I wouldn't let myself eat. And yeah, I'd eventually fall asleep, mostly from pure exhaustion, but it was the worst feeling, like soul crushing. And the thing is, I did care, but my eating disorder brain cared way more. More than logic, more than health, more than comfort. So I pushed through. And that's when I started manipulating my routines. I'd eat tiny amounts throughout the day, just enough to keep distracted, functioning, and just to keep upright. I'd saved all my calories for the end of the day because if I could make it to that one moment when the clock hit that perfect time, I'd finally get to eat and it would feel so good, like deeply gratifying. I looked forward to it every single day. But at what cost? I was starving all day. I was tired, short-tempered, irritated, and honestly, I was mean to the people I loved the most. I sacrificed time with my family, my friends. I sacrificed my entire life for this routine because this routine was everything to me. And if something messed with it, I could not handle it. If someone invited me out to dinner or drinks, the logical part of me was like, oh yes, please, just be normal, Heather. But my eating disorder voice, it always won every single time. It was like I became a different person. All I cared about was getting home as fast as I possibly could so I could eat all of my safe foods. That was my version of peace, but it was costing me everything. For me, it wasn't just about being full before going to bed. It was about escaping the world, the noise, the pressure. And during the day, I was on, nonstop, working out, smiling, and pretending like I wasn't hungry when I was starving. But when that clock hit that time, it was like I could finally breathe. I didn't have to perform anymore. I could just shut everything off. It was like hitting the pause button on life. White noise kicking in, brain finally quiet. But that escape came at a cost. I was hungry all day. I was stuck in this rigid, unbreakable routine. Nothing and no one could interfere. All my energy went into work and exercise. So by the end of the day, I had nothing left for the people who mattered most. I didn't want to be around anyone, not even friends, not family, no matter how much I loved them. All I wanted to do was shut down and eat that small amount of food I allowed myself to eat. Doesn't that sound rewarding? No, it was horrible. I wasted over 20 years sitting on my couch alone, watching life happen without me, all because I thought staying thin mattered more than connection, more than laughter, more than living. If you're stuck in this same cycle, please hear me. You can break this pattern. If I can do it after 25 years, you can too. And when you do, eating with people becomes freeing. It becomes fun. Yes, fun. I hate that I believed for so long that being skinny was worth more than joy, more than love, more than memories. It is not. Is it easy? Hell no. But every breakdown, every rough day, every time I felt not good enough because of my appearance, it's been worth it. And you, exactly as you are, matter because you are enough. If you've made it this far, thank you. Thank you for listening, for holding space for the story, and maybe seeing a little bit of yourself in it. Recovery is messy, it's uncomfortable, and some days it feels impossible, but it's also worth it. Every step, every tear, every tiny moment you choose you instead of your eating disorder, you're making progress. If this resonated with you, share it, comment below. What questions do you have? Let's build a space where honesty is met with compassion, where stories like this don't stay in the dark. You're not alone. You never were. I am rooting for you always. Thank you for watching. Until next time.